Hello, wonderful universe. It's Jennifer here at Eureka Astrology and Healing, and I'm putting on my herbalist hat today to introduce you to a baby yarrow. This is part of a series of herbal videos I'm making to introduce to the world the baby plants that are magical, medicinal, and just wonderful beings. And the reason I'm doing this is that so people can get acquainted with the different sizes and stages of some of these plants. As they grow, I will give more information about them, traditional medicinal uses and magical uses, and I'm going to start with each first video with just lore and some older tradition behind the plant. And as you can see, this is several little baby plants. I've zoomed in quite a bit, but I think it's important to see them as they grow because then you get acquainted with them and understand their energy. Yarrow is a perennial, meaning it comes back every year. It spreads, especially through grass. It'll actually be found throughout lawns all over, and people mow it and don't even know it because it's so subtle and faint when you mow over it. But if you let it go, it creates beautiful, large, lush patches of these feathers, and then they go put out their stalks, which I'm excited to show you later this summer. Right now it's a little cold here. It's almost the end of April, and it's about 35 degrees, and the plant is growing despite the cold weather. Its Latin name is Achillea millefolium, and the millefolium refers to the 1,000 leaves, or as you can see, it looks very feathery, and there looks like little teeth or many little leaves on there. The Achilleum refers to actually Achilles, and there's some lore behind that. It was said that the Greek soldier Achilles used this plant on the battlefield to heal wounds, and it's actually in some lore and or was actually used in the Civil War to help soldiers heal wounds. And we'll talk more about this when we get to the medicinal uses, but it actually is known to help stop bleeding as a styptic. And this is where and why it is associated with Achilles, because he used it on the battlefield. It also has some other properties, but we'll save that for the next video. Some other names the plant has: thousand seal, devil's nettle, woundwort, and devil's plaything. And I'm not sure where the association with the devil came from. Maybe because once it was used as a snuff to stop nosebleeds. I don't know if it associated with that because it's also associated with starting nosebleeds if you snuff it. So depending on the person and the situation, I really don't know, but it's an interesting thought that it's associated with the devil when it's such a healing, positive, and protective plant. It's been used in many different parts of the world. In China, it has been used for a long time. Its stalks, which we'll see later on in the summer, to cast the I Ching. And so that kind of harkens to a little more of its magical uses for divination. It was also used in Ayurvedic medicine, or it still is used in Ayurvedic medicine. It's known as a heal-all. It's also known to be very medicinal, and it actually is said that it helps. It's one of the plants that will spread its medicine through mycelium to ailing trees and other plants. And one of the other magical things or lore is that you find a big patch of it if you sit in it. It's very grounding and very centering, which is something very beautiful. It's also said, and this is kind of a little fun lore that I found in Magrivi, is that it was used in bridal decoration, hung over a marital bed, and it was said to help create love for 7 years, like to ensure it. And then after that, I don't know, I guess you're on your own. And then one last little thing is that it said if you carry it, it helps attract friendships and relationships that you want. And this makes me think about it astrologically a little bit, is that associating with Aquarius, which Aquarius is known for friendship, but also Aquarius, one of the parts of the body that rules is the circulatory system, and it needs sometimes bolstering with the circulatory system, and this plant is great for that traditionally. With that, I think we're going to wrap it up. Like I said, we'll talk more about its medicinal uses in the next video and more of its magical uses in the third video. With that, this is Jennifer Helmer at Eureka Astrology and Healing. If you like what I'm doing, hit like, subscribe, check out my website where you can see my services, my wellness consults, where I incorporate herbs. I also do astrology consultations. And may the plants ground you and the stars guide you. Ciao for now.